5 and 5 is basically sharing 5 products with someone in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, right?
Done.
So how many of you are like the super busy people?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're like, gosh, I don't have time for parties, or whatever. I'm not saying parties are not a thing. I'm saying do whatever brings you joy. This is bringing me a lot of joy, a lot of peace. And what I'm finding is America's in a place where they have 5 minutes, but they may not have an hour, right? I mean, once they're around us, they want an hour, but you know. So the 5 and 5, I'm going to tell you the products that I've been sharing in 5 minutes, and then I'm going to share with you some scripts that have been working, and just kind of how to work this out and make it work for you. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so the 5 products I always share, well, it's going to change, but that I've been sharing. I always share a skincare line, because I'm going to do some deals at the end of the 5 and 5 for them, and I want them on skincare. Right, don't you? Because skincare is something they're going to be reordering, they're going to wash it down the drain every night, they're going to put it on the next day, and in 3 months they're going to be out of something and they're going to need more. I like to share the new Mineral SPF 30 sunscreen because it's something that's new. I love sharing the pedicure set because it's something that's springy and new, and I always say, I love getting pedicures, but after 5 days, I need another pedicure. So this is a great go-to pedicure for in-between pedicures or just to pamper yourself at home. I love to share microdermabrasion. Again, it creates the ultimate skincare line where you've got, you know, exfoliator along with your regular skincare line. And I love to share hydrogel eye patches. That's just the self-care thing we all need, right? So there's kind of something in there for everyone. The lowest price point in here is $28, which is the SPF 30. But there's a way that they get a deal. So I go ahead, and I'm not going to take the time to share with you how I do the 5 and 5 because in the boards, I accidentally recorded a Zoom of one of me and my customers. And because I always get on most of mine are Zoom or Facebook Messenger. I don't have FaceTime because I have an Android, but most of mine are virtual. I would say probably, and I didn't intend for that to be, but I'd probably say about 85% of the ones I've done have been virtual. The ones in person, I will teach you how to keep them short and like in your door and out the door without spending 2 hours, because it's very easy as a talker, right? Okay, so I'm going to teach you the things I've learned of how to keep that short. But I usually share the 5, and then I say, so, and I say I'm going to set a timer, because if you're a talker, you're going to be guilty of like, oh sure, I'm going to share one product, and my time's up, right? So you want to have a timer going, and you want to have it in front of you. And to me, that's respectful of her time that she offered to give you, and then for you, it keeps you on track. And guess what? You have to talk fast, and you don't have to know a whole lot about the products, because basically, you have 5 minutes to talk about 5. So what I would recommend doing is for the 5, whichever 5 you share. If you're like, gosh, you know what? I've got 15 eye makeup removers on my shelf. That could be one of your 5. If you have old time-waste, not old, classic time-waste 3D to still sell, that could be one of your 5. So look at your own inventory and look to see where am I heavy on something that I want to move out to be able to buy something new. Because there's nothing wrong with the 3D. If you still have it, people still buy it, and they're getting a deal on it, right? And then you can move them into the new one when they're out of what they have. So it can be really customizable. Also, if you're working with customers that are already repair customers or already time-waste customers, then you don't share that one. You share something else, like the peel or the biocellulose masks. And if you're like, Susan, I want to share all of these things, but I don't have any product yet. Well, you might have a starter kit, and in your starter kit, you can pull out, and if you're new and you haven't bought the full starter kit, you have 15 days, I think, to get it from when you signed up. And you can share the Miracle Set out of there, the eye makeup remover out of there, the mascara out of there, the charcoal mask out of there, right? And guess what? If you don't have any of that, you know what you can do? You can literally go in InTouch and go to the ordering and pull up the PDF and get a picture of the products you want to share. You guys, I've sold 17 pedicure sets to 60 people in the last 3 weeks. And the first week, I didn't even have them in stock. I showed a picture of them, and I told about how great they smelled. I hadn't even smelled them yet, but I'd heard they smelled like the charcoal mask. I'm like, rosemary and mint, sounds like the charcoal mask. I asked one of the nationals who had it. She goes, yep, it smells just like that. So you can share through pictures. And if you're on a Zoom, guess what? If you're fancy like this, you can screen share a picture. If you're not, you can literally hold up the picture of it. And that's what I do if I'm on Messenger. You know, there's some people that aren't on Zoom or don't want to be or whatever. I have a lady on Tuesday at 9 o'clock that wants to do FaceTime. I'm like, sure. My daughter told me on the way here, Mom, you can't do FaceTime. I have an Android, so I'm like, well, she's just going to have to get the Zoom app, I guess. But, I mean, you guys, truly, what I think sells in these appointments is your excitement for the product and just the little minute amounts of knowledge. So in the PDF, not only is there a picture, but highlight maybe a couple of things you want to say about each of those products. Like when I talk about the repair line, I talk about the lifting serum, hitting this triangular part of our face and lifting and toning and tightening. Guess what? It sells it every time. So, not every time, but I've sold more repair sets in the past 3 weeks. I mean, I can't even keep them in stock. Okay, so you know what it is, right? You know how short it is. The deals that go with them, like after I share, I will say, okay, now there's the 5 minutes I promised. Would you allow me to take another minute or two to share with you the deals that you can get if you're interested in some things? No obligation, but I will say to them, and I have a picture of this, and it's in the boards app, so you'll get that too. It's if they buy any one of the 5, they're going to get, and not one piece of the repair line, but the repair line is one. The miracle set. Repair and miracle set are kind of one and the same. I share those as number 1. But if they buy any one of those 5 that I'm sharing, they can get 10% off. If they buy any 2 of those 5, they can get 15% off. If they want to buy any 3 or more, they can get 20% off. So if they want all 5, they get 20% off. Okay? I don't give discounts unless they're listening to my 5 and 5, or watching my 5 and 5, I should say. I did make an additional couple of ways to get a discount. If they want to give me 5 referrals, they can get an extra 5% off of any of those discounts. So the max you can get is 25% off. And I'll usually say something about referrals, like what I've learned to do is if I'm in person, to have, like I have the Fabulous game, which is numbered 1 to 20. Your director can get you that page. And I just hand it to her. Well, I say, grab a pen and grab your phone, because I'm going to give you a way to get an extra 5% off. So she grabs her pen, grabs her phone. If you remember working in person like we did, this is how we played the Fabulous game. Grab your pen, grab your phone. Don't give her the paper yet, okay? And then she's got her phone and she's got her pen, so what's she ready to do? Write down referrals. I've learned the hard way about this. So give her that paper and just say, now I know there's lines for 20, but all you have to write down is at least 5. And you're gonna get an extra 5% off. And the thing about it is, our mind says, like I had a lady say, and I haven't been the best at getting referrals. I'm learning this as I go. But this one lady said, I don't think I have anybody. Oh, I could write down 2. And then she was like, well, as I'm going through my phone, she gave me 7. I was like, okay, there's something about the paper and there's something about her pen and her looking through her phone for contacts. And I will also say, listen, I'm only gonna text them once. If they're not interested, they won't even respond, or they might say no thank you. And about 1 out of 10 are gonna be, I've been looking for Mary Kay for so long, where have you been, right? And that happened. I have literally, referrals are a part that I'm getting better at. I think I've gotten a total of 12. And I've gotten together with one, and it was a $100 5 and 5. And she did get together in person. So I did make an additional board. If you're like, I don't know if I want to give away that much. I want to give away less. So I did it as 5, 10, 15. Additional 5% for referrals. And then at the very bottom of the picture of this, they can get an option. There's 2 ways to get 50% off. What do you think they are? Booking a party and becoming a consultant. So guess what? It gives you the opportunity to say, this month, in the month of March, you can become a consultant for only $10. So I share the picture that says has the $35 crossed out, and it's for 10, and it shows the 45 and the 90. And I do not say this. I do not say, for $10, you can get everything at 50% off forever. No, I don't want them to be personally used. What I will say is, for $10, you can get started in Mary Kay and have a side hustle. And I can teach you to do what I'm doing in these little 5-minute appointments. They've never been more successful. I've never sold more product. I've never had so much fun in such a short amount of time as right now. And so for $10, you could start a Mary Kay business, and that includes your website and ProPay. Or you could book a party and get not only these 5, but anything else at 50% off by being my hostess. That's my Hostess Credit. I do, as far as my regular Hostess Credit, it's not going to change from what I'm doing now. I've done it since 2020, I think. And my Hostess Credit is, if she's a hostess, she gets 50% off of anything. If you want to set a guideline to that and say it needs to be a $200 party, no problem. I typically do not. I personally feel like 50% off as a hostess is very generous. She does have to buy stuff to get 50% off, but I lose $0 out of my profit from that. And then she's eligible for freebies, and my freebies are when she has 10 orders, she gets an extra $100 free. 10 orders is typically a $1,000 party. But I used to say a $1,000 party, she gets 100, but I've stopped that. I've said, no, 10 orders, I don't care what, because they vary. You know, you might have a $28 order, a $10 order, a $400 order, but if you've got 10, you're gonna have enough to average it out to be really good and juicy. And then I also give $50 free for 2 parties booked from her party. So she gets 50% off and she's eligible for freebies. So that's kind of my Hostess Credit there. So then after I share all those specials, and it doesn't take that long, I just say, so out of the different, I've already asked her, I should back up. I already asked her out of all the different products, which appealed to her the most, what did she like about them? So after I share the deals, I just say, now there's no obligation to buy, but this is your time to get a discount if you want to. Which of the specials sound good to you? And then you don't say another word, because she's gonna tell you. She may even have to think a second, because it's a lot of information in 5 minutes. And so you just have to play the, I'm not gonna talk until she talks game. Because whoever talks ends up being the one that, I think they say loses, I don't like that word. Takes the product, thank you. Yes, whoever talks takes the product. So you want her getting the product at a discount, right? So my goal in doing these, and I want you to think, who in here wants to be a sales director? Who in here is a leader? Who in here wants to make 13% profit? Who wants to build their team? Okay, so my goal as a leader, as a director, is I want to do these appointments. I want everybody getting 50% off, either way. I want them either becoming a team member and I can teach them how to do these, or I want them to book a party. It's your next booking. Or I want them to become a new consultant, so I can teach her how to do these, or to book a party, and so she can see how a virtual Facebook party goes. She can see how I do a 5 and 5 party on Zoom with a group in 5 minutes. I mean, those are her options, really. For me, if you want to meet in person and do those, you can get that as an option too. So that's my first goal, is going to be to recruit her, or book her, or get referrals. And I want to think of sales as the consolation prize. Because as a consultant, my mindset was, I hope I sell something, right? And then I would forget to book her, and I would forget to recruit her, and I'd be like, yay, I sold something, right? And then it's over. And that's not the point of the 5 and 5s. The point of the 5 and 5s is just like any appointment, is to sustain your business. It's to grow your team. It's to grow into bookings for more new customers. And, but you don't lead with that. Like, I don't have 2 ways to get 50% at the top of my specials. You lead with sales, referrals, bookings, recruiting, but your goals are the opposite. Your goals are recruiting, booking, referrals, sales. So I want you to kind of have a mindset shift of sales are my consolation prize. Consolation prizes are great, right? You still win if you have money in your pocket. Now, before I go into booking, I think it's important to kind of know what I've gotten from these personally. So this idea was not my idea. I don't know who created it, thank God for her. The 5 and 5 kind of came around in probably early 2021, and I knew about it. I just kind of forgot about it. And so March 1st, I just got back from Mexico, and I needed bookings. And I thought, oh my gosh, double credit starts today, and I have, like, the bookings I had, because I always go on vacation with bookings to come back to, well, they came off my date book for another couple of weeks. So I'm like, I gotta have bookings now. So I thought, what would make me book now? And I thought, if somebody asked me for 5 minutes, I don't care who they are, I would give them my 5 minutes to listen to whatever they need to do for a challenge. And so I thought, okay, we're gonna just see how this goes. And so I sent it out, and I'm gonna tell you that part in a minute, but I wanna tell you what's gonna happen from it. I started my first one March 3rd. I finished my 60th one yesterday morning at 8 o'clock. I've sold, and granted this has 2 really good Facebook virtual parties that are probably right now around 600, and then it also includes some reorders. But every reorder I tried to get to be a 5 and 5 also. Like, do you have 5 minutes? You can get a discount. You know, that kind of thing. But my sales so far, are you ready? Hold on to your seats, because I'm holding on to my own seat. I have never personally sold this much product in this short amount of time, or seen 60 faces in 3 weeks in my entire 30, almost 1 years of Mary Kay. I've sold $7,532 so far. I hope you're clapping for yourselves, because that's going to be you too. Because literally, if I can, you can. All it is numbers. I use a tracking sheet, which is also in the boards, that looks like this. It used to be, well, mine says layering chart because this is all I could find that was numbered 1 to 20. And my initial goal was to just share with 10. But I got such great results from sending it out. I'm like, I'm on number 13. I gotta fill up all these lines and get to 20. So then I did that, and I was like, well, that's great, I did that. And then I thought, I should do that again. And so I pulled out another clean sheet. And the second week of March, I did that again. And then last week, I was like, I mean, it is the 60th anniversary, and that is my challenge that I gave my unit, so I did it again. And another 20. So guess what I'm doing this week? Another 20. I'm filling up this sheet, right? So I want you to, and we did customize this to say 5 and 5, and you can get it on there, but it's Heather's idea. I customized it for 5 and 5, but I love it for tracking to see where you're at, because even if you did the consolation prize of selling a lot of product, you want her on that list, because when there's a new guest event, Winning Wednesday, or anything that's virtual, or anything in person that you want to invite her to, you want to remember who you just saw, right? Okay, so what I want you to know is that all of these things are in there. I'm going to read to you the script, but I'm going to tell you a few key things that I did that made the difference. First off, I made a list of 100 people. Now, when I say 100, show me your face. Like, what do you think? Some people are like, oh, I don't know 100. The average number of contacts in your cell phone is 654. I Googled it. I said, Google, what's the average number of contacts in someone's phone? 654. I would say start with your preferred customer list. So go into my customers. One of my directors, Laura Dillander, did this. She's like, I don't even know if I have 100 customers. She went into her My Customers Plus app. She had 400 people in there. Guess what? Some of them hadn't bought in a long time. It doesn't matter. Some of the people in your phone you haven't talked to in years. One of the girls I have booked for Tuesday morning at 10:30, I went to college with her. I haven't seen her in 35 years. She was in my cell phone. I sent it out. And guess what? She was like, sure, I'd love to. So do you want to know the script? The magic script? All right, well, here it is. Okay, first of all, I want you to say this. Everyone says yes when it's sunny outside. Because my initial script was, everyone says yes on Friday. But it's not Friday, but it is sunny. You could even say to yourself, everyone says yes on sunny Saturday, right? So what your script will say, mine says happy Friday. Yours is going to say happy Saturday or happy Sunday, whatever day you're doing this, but do not go past Sunday. It says, and I don't write it down, I've got it for you. May I borrow you for 5 minutes, either in person or virtually, sometime in the next week. I've got several new Mary Kay products I need to get 60 opinions on in honor of our Mary Kay 60th anniversary challenge that our area is doing. I promise to make it worth your time. What do you think? You guys, don't change it. Don't change the script. I'm giving you all the 60th anniversary challenge to do 60 in March. And you could even say, I'm a little behind with a scary face because today's the 22nd or 23rd. But here's what I want you to also say. Repeat after me. It's only March 23rd. Only March 23rd. It's sunny outside. It's sunny outside. Everyone says yes when it's sunny outside. Everyone says yes when it's sunny outside. Guess what else? You don't have to repeat this. We have till March the 32nd. Woo! Did you guys all know that? Like, the company, how great is Mary Kay that they said, it's Easter. We do not want people working on Easter. We're going to give them the next day to close out the month of March. Woo! I mean, right? I just felt like that is so great. They not only want us to not work, but they don't want corporate to be working. And so you guys, let's take these next, whatever that gives us, 10 days, and let's work them. You could have 0 in sales towards your double credit right now, and you could max it out and sell $4,000. You know how you do it? You do 40. I averaged $106 a face. When I went through all 60, I averaged $106 a face, and you guys, I had lots of zeros. So if your first 5 are zeros, so what? Keep on going. I had and zeros, I get you're killing my average here, you know. But, I had 3 zeros in a row on Thursday. And then I had a lady that I had reached out to So you reach out today, let's say Saturday, with that script. You skip Sunday. There's another script that you reach out to on Monday. Promise me you will. You skip Tuesday, and then there's a third script, which is the breakup script, kind of. If you know the 21-day booking, it goes along with that. But she had not reached back out. And yes, Thursday, at like almost 4 o'clock, she reached out to me and she said, "So sorry, I've been so busy, but I would love to do this with you." I said, "Great." And so we were trying to figure out a time for yesterday, which is a pretty busy day for a director coming to conference. I said, "You know what, Elizabeth, is there any possible way you're available right now?" And she goes, "Yeah." So we went on Facebook Messenger. Remember, this was after a bunch of zeros for me. I'm like, "Please raise my average." No, I didn't say that to her at all. And I shared the 5, and you know what she did? She bought repair, she bought retinol, she bought the 3 hand creams, she bought the pedicure set, and she bought the SPF 30, and it was $423 retail. So guess what? That made up for all the little zero ones before that, because I still averaged $106 in those 4 people. So I'm telling you, there's something about it. And if you're like, how many of you want to max out your 4,000 retail through your sales and profit? I mean, 4,000 is 2,000 profit and 2,000 wholesale. You're giving away a little. So let's just say you do 40 in 10 days. What's that, like 4 a day? And let's say you have an extra $1,600 profit. Can you imagine how excited you're going to be? Nobody is going to say no to you when you talk to them about your little 5 minutes appointments that you did. Last thing I want to share before I wrap up is that I feel like try to do them back to back to back to back. That's the best way to go. But I try to allow 15 minutes if it's on Zoom, 20 minutes if it's in person. So like, I will say, okay, I'm gonna do this for 5 minutes, I'm gonna set a timer. If it's in person, it tends to, my first in-person 2 were like an hour long. And so as they walk in your door, you just say, okay, I'm gonna stick to 5 minutes because that's what I promised you. And then I'll share my deals with you. And I do have a little cushion, but my next one starts at 10:20. Okay? Because she then knows to respect your time too. Because sometimes if they have daytime flexibility, they may just be like, oh, I don't have anything till 3 o'clock when my kids come home. Well, I do, so that helps there. All right, so in the information I'm going to send to you through the boards, it has like all of this stuff and more. What I would just love to ask back is that you share with me your results. I'm going to wrap up with one last thing from a consultant of mine who just, Dolores has been in my unit probably 3 years, Dolores? 2? And she's sold product and she's had some appointments and things like that. But I want to share with you her message. She's going to be our inspiration for tonight. I asked permission about this. And she's done 3 so far. She told me yesterday she's done 3. 1 was 0, 2 others totaled 189, which was great. She scheduled the other one for coming up that she's got. So here's her message.
I just thought I'd let you know that I'm doing really, you're right, I found my niche. It's the 5 and 5. I'm never not going to do it because I can sell the product without even trying.
I can't present a whole table. I can't do the virtual Facebook parties. This could be your niche too. And Dolores, that just brought me so much joy. So thank you for sharing that. And share with your directors and share with me too all your success through Boxer. So, thank you.